It's 1:30 a.m. and I just woke out of bed to make this video. As a stay-at-home mom, this is the only time I can do something like this. So welcome back to the channel, guys. If you're new here, my name is Sanita, and many of you may know me from TikTok as Nita. Some people call me San, some people call me Nita. So pick one and call me that. So a few months ago, I announced on TikTok my separation from my 4-year relationship. I just had a baby. My baby is 9 months currently, and the type of response that I got was never the response that I was looking for. I announced it mainly because I wanted to just let that off my shoulder. It felt like I was carrying a heavy load that I just had to put out there and just let it out, to say that I am free. I am finally free. And I say I'm free because I felt like I was a hostage. Like I was a hostage in my relationship. Not like I was being held in captive. Like, you don't have to be held captive for you to feel like you're a hostage. But I'm saying this, the response that I got, my DM, oh my God, the comments, oh my God, even to this day, it's now March 26th, March 27th, and I'm still getting DMs from women that are actually going through the same situation, or they've gotten out of, relationships that were like that. And it's so sad that this is really the life that we are out here living. Oh my God. But anyways, let's backtrack a little bit about how our relationship started. So our relationship started in 2019, about April, May. It wasn't Easter, I'm sure about it. He is cousin with the person that was my best friend. Like, we're not best friends anymore. Yes, when Robsy was a year and 5 months, we met and we started dating, and we dated for over a year. Mind you, I know this person before I even got Robsy. He was in a relationship, serious relationship, and so was I. We never had anything. We never had a relationship, situationship. We never had anything. We didn't link up, nothing like that. It was just the fact that I was friends with his cousin, so whenever his cousin would go around family, I would always be there. So that's how we met. And then coming to 2019, some situation happened with his family which caused the cousin to be there, and I ended up being there, and we reconnected. At that time, I had Robsy. I just broke up with Robsy's father, and he apparently just broke up with his girlfriend that he had for over 7 years. So he was interested. Like, now he's like, okay, let me pursue you. I really wasn't interested in any form of relationship because I didn't know how to introduce Robsy to another man. Like, it was never something that I really wanted at the time when I met my second baby daddy. So yeah, we met, we had discussions about my situation coming out of my relationship, why he and his partner is separated, and I was very hesitant about the whole relationship thing for a while, until I realized that, whoa, he's really a nice guy, and he's older, because Robsy's father is younger than I am, and now this man is older than I am. And I'm like, okay, I was coming out of a relationship where I was like the masculine, and this person seems like he's gonna be the more masculine person in the relationship. Like, he seems to have his shit together, it's more mature and working and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, maybe I can get into this, because this is gonna make me feel like a woman. And he did not mind. Like, mind you, he was the one that was pursuing the relationship more than anything else, with the fact that I have a toddler. Like, she's 1 year and 5. Like, she's literally just learning to talk, just learning to walk. You know what I mean? So if a man is willing to accept your child, and they're showcasing certain traits that you like in a man, you're gonna be like, okay, let me pursue it. So we dated, and he would come by my house. We would have time that he stays over, and this would be during time when my mom was alive, and I would always send my daughter to my mom because I work. and my job was very demanding. I was working in the hotel, I was a front office manager, so whenever it's really hard on me, I would, you know, send her off to my mom, and then that time he would come over and spend some time with me. It happened that we were having such a good time. He would come over, spend the weekend, spend weeknights there for 2 to 3 days, and I was like, okay, this is going fine. Sometimes on the weekends or sometimes on my day off, he would come by, and Robsy would be so excited to see him. Whenever he's leaving, Robsy would be crying. He's a clean freak. He comes and he does the dishes, he cleans up. One of the most things that captivated me was the fact that when it's nighttime and I would be putting Robsy to bed, Jesus Love Me, we sing the lullaby and we tuck her in, he would play a part into that. And I'm laughing because it is so funny every time I think about it, to know that people can be so deceiving. Like, themselves see me and come live with me are two different something. People pretend, and I don't get why you're pretending, because as a girl that is so genuine towards people, and if I'm gonna be in a relationship, why am I gonna be this way with you now and then wait until 6 months down the line? I'm changing. Like, what's the sense? That's wasting my precious time. Anywho, let's fast forward to 2020, because I'm not gonna stay long on this. 2020, COVID came. And let me tell you, Risa Tisa is a prime example that COVID allowed a lot of us to make some weird ass decisions. Because if it wasn't for COVID, I wouldn't be here having this discussion with you. And sometimes you can't regret things, because you have to be grateful for things the way they happen, because it actually paves the way for your future, for your destiny. Like, it was meant to happen that way in order for things to go this way. You know what I mean? So yes, COVID came, and as I said, we were dating since April of 2019. So we're now in 2020 when COVID came. The country shut down, there are no jobs anymore and all of that. So during that time, I'm a girl that likes to plan ahead. So I started thinking, okay, how am I going to support myself? How am I going to pay my bills? Because I was living in my apartment by myself. I was the one that was covering I had a car. I was the one that was covering my payment for my car, my rent, everything. Even while I was dating with this person and he would be coming by, I was the one that was doing everything for myself up till that time. But I'm never the type of girl that looks at people to say, okay, I'm gonna ask you to pay my bills, or I'm gonna ask you to get me food. Like, if I ask you for something, I'm in desperate need, I'm dying. Anyways, we were having a discussion, because I said we've been dating for over 6 months now. So we were having the discussion when COVID came, and he said, why don't you come and live with me? So I was like, okay. I don't want to go live with no man, you know, but him suggested, and we're actually having a serious relationship. You know, it's not a fling, because my daughter is involved. My daughter knows him. He comes by me, and I'm someone that is always looking towards having a future with whoever I'm with. So I wasn't really like, nah, right off the bat. I thought about it, and I was like, no, yes. Well, it makes sense, because we have been together for a while. Over a year now, and he's, you know, he wants to help to take care of me and help ease the load off me, so why not? But I really didn't want to, you know. So anyways, I ended up, you know, made a decision and said that I am gonna move. The night before I moved, I cried my eyes out, because I saw a few things that did not rest well with me, and me say no, because you know, the moment you move out of your house and go live with man, I done it done. You get what I say? So if you see certain things before you move, you feel glad and say, girl, these are the signs we say do not. And we say do not move. Do not go to the man place to live. So I cried, and the reason why I cried, because I was in a position where, like, this is a relationship that we're pursuing. These are some things that I'm seeing, and I'm now in a spot where, should I go? Should I stay? How is life going to be? Blah blah blah. It was just like, am I making the right decision? But deep down, I knew it was it was not a good decision. But I made it anyways because he was saying, you know, this, that, yeah, I'm not like this, I'm not like that, you're overthinking it, blah, 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 blah. But so I was just crying for the mere fact that I know this is not going to turn out right. And it's not like I was behind in rent, because I had just got money from my car insurance, which was covering my rent at the time. Additionally, I was going to work like 2-3 days out of the week, so we were still getting paid. Additionally, I did start an online business where I was selling bags and colognes and candles and stuff like those. So I was having a little income was coming. So it's not like I was behind. But yet still, I did not want to wait until I was behind to deal with the situation. So that's where the discussion come up, and that's how we made the choice. August 26th. I will never forget the date. August 26th is when I moved in. And I think that's where I made a big mistake, huge mistake. Because after moving in, I realized some things changed. And there are some things that I will not say on this video because we have a child together, and I really want us to have a good relationship, co-parenting. So I don't want to be bitter and mean and say some things that are really not necessary to say, you know. But things happen during our relationship which just made me realize countless times that this was never going to work out. But I am the type of person that likes to give chances, and sometimes I believe these men, they are just in the body of men, but mentally, emotionally, they are not mature, they are not developed properly into being men that being the men that they're supposed to be to cater to us women. You know, so that's why I would always give my relationship chances, because I'm out here teaching these men how to treat a woman, which is something that their moms should have done, you know, while raising them. But so the big question that everybody have on TikTok is, how did I find the courage to get up and leave out of my relationship of 4 years to be a single mom with 2 kids on my own, without a job, without an income, and with $0 in my bank account? It took me 4 years to finally gain the strength to make that decision to get up and go. And it was just like, enough is enough. I'm not gonna wait for the perfect moment, because the perfect moment is never coming. I have to go, and I have to go now, because if I don't, this will just be another year wasted. You ever hear them say, the post say you waste time with your boyfriend while your husband is out there? Like, that was the situation. Intermission here. This is the only time that I will be speaking of this on this channel, because this is not a channel about breakup. I will not be focusing on breakup, on separation, on divorce, on all of those things. So we moved in. I moved in with my partner, and after moving in, I realized some things were really not what I wanted to be. Some things were not what I thought it would be. And even realizing I'm a verbal person, I'm going to let you know whatever it is that I see, whatever it is that I don't like, or whatever it is that is uncomfortable for me. I'm going to bring it across to you, whether in a text message. I am that type of person. And I believe that if you're in a relationship, how is your partner going to know that something you are not pleasing with something, or something doesn't sit right with you? How are they going to know if you do not communicate that to them? So I've communicated my feelings, whatever it is, and I realized like there was no adjustments, there was no the care, that there was nothing. At one point it started to be like, this is just how things are, and you just have to adjust to this. As some do things, and you just have to adjust. Like, it was just like that. That's how we started. That's how we started. It's like you have to adjust. Every time I speak about something, you have to adjust. So it became a relationship where I started now having to readjust myself to this person. And I was like, okay, this is relationship. Sometimes you have to compromise. Maybe you're not used to this because you've dated different type of person. So now you're with this person. So some things are different. Fine, no problem. One of my biggest problems was Robsy. Now, as I said before, Robsy was 1 year and 4 months when we started dating. 1 year, 4 months, 1 year, 5 months. When we moved in, everything changed. Robsy was 2 at the time when we moved in. She was 2 because she was 1+ in 2019, and now we moved to January. So January, now we moved to 2020. So January of 2020, Robsy became 2. And if you know 2-year-olds, you know 2-year-olds. They're just learning to talk. They're just learning to walk. 2-year-old are just 2-year-old. They're toddlers. They're just developing. You know, I would become very uncomfortable with how things were going with her. She would cry her eyes out because she's always trying to connect, and it wasn't happening. And that I started be like, but when you were coming by me, you would always be excited to see her. You would pick her up as you get there. She would hug you. She would cry. So now she's like, she's gained this kind of closeness with you. So now that she's here, she's even closer, and she's going to want to be even closer with you. So now why are you pushing her aside? You know, so that was like a big red flag for me, because if you're in a relationship, as a woman, any man that you're dating, you want to ensure that your child is comfortable. And if your child is not comfortable, you are not going to be comfortable. Unless you're one of them careless, wordless mama there, when you give a crap about your child and how any man that you're with treats your child, or how connected your child, or how happy your child is in the presence of this person. So that was a big red flag for me. But my first red flag should have been when I had an accident in March of 2020 when COVID happened, and I never showed up to the site of my accident, nor did he show up to accompany me to the doctor, nor did he show up while I was home on bed rest for 2 weeks. That was a red flag. And that was the first time I tried to get out of the relationship with him, because I was like, there is no way I'm dating someone. My mom called you to say that your girlfriend is in a car accident. Mind you, I wasn't injured, but I believe that if you're in a car accident and your partner find out that you're in a car accident, the next thing is you're going to expect that your partner is showing up. Like if they're in the same country, where like especially that close, they're gonna want to show up. The police, nobody never rough me up, nothing like that. You know, we take our time and we do our thing. I went to the insurance company, and when I was done with the insurance company and going back to my house, I was picking up some medication from the pharmacy, and that was maybe about 5 o'clock in the evening, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the evening, and the accident happened about 8 o'clock in the morning. He called to say, where you at? I told him all that I've done since the accident, and he was like, okay, you want me to come down later? I said no. I said if you're gonna come by later after I've been in an accident and done everything without you by my side, I no longer need you. And I went home, and I did not communicate with him much during that time while I was home, because I was like, there's no way this is the type of person that I want to be in a relationship with. Because if you cannot be there for me in this type of time, when else are you going to be there for me? And that was my biggest red flag. My baby waking up. All right, so let's continue. Baby is fed, burped, and she gone back to bed. So let's continue where we left off. You know, I got 2 weeks off work, spent that 2 weeks by myself, and it was just the most relaxing 2 weeks I've ever had since I started working. And the reason why I didn't have Robsy is because, as I said, it was COVID and the entire country was shutting down. Daycares were closing, so that's why I had to go to Mandeville. And it was on my way coming back the morning from Mandeville, heading to work, that's when I had the accident. So he never showed up to see me And I did not communicate with him much because I was like, this is not something that I want to be in. This is not the relationship. This is not the man that I want. It so happened that now the country shut down. He was not working and he was home by himself most of the time. He found himself, I don't know how he ended up at my apartment, but he did, and he was holding me down. I had a woman who I want, I had a woman of my dreams, and I you my love, I you my want, and blah 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 blah. And being the silly, stupid person that I am, I allowed it back in. I'm like, I opened the gates and I'm like, okay, no problem. You know, welcome back. Listen, me don't know what about me and these red flags, because me I tell us that the red flags them been there. The red flags them did stand up clear in the way. The red flag them did just line out in the relationship, and me just knock them down. What me not knock down, I want me change the color and say beige. Me change the color and say this one a green, and we can work with this. I just made that throughout the whole relationship for the 4 years. You know, it's not like I'm gonna sit up here and I'm gonna say it's the worst man or he's the worst person, because he's done things for me. He's done things that made, you know, me comfortable, that got us to a comfortable state, like living. But when it comes to relationship, when it comes to my heart, there was no cushion, there was no remorse, there was no care, there was no love, and it was clear as day. When it comes to Robin, it's the same thing. And it's not as if I wanted him to be a father to Robsy. It's not that I wanted that, but I wanted Robsy to feel loved and feel connected and feel like, you know, she's supposed to be here. We are a family, we are united, we're one, because that's what this is supposed to be. That's what we said we're doing. This is what we say we're doing. So this is what we're supposed to be feeling. When I look at it, I am not going to choose material things over my happiness. Material things can come from anyone, anytime, anywhere, but my happiness, my heart, and my child's happiness means a lot more than settling just because house look good, just because you didn't want house where you don't have to pay no rent, you don't have none of that on your head. So you have to stay knowing that the man is like this. Emotionally you're being tortured, emotionally you're not being supported, you don't have no intimate connection with this partner, because so when you have the argument, you not talk over things. The argument happened today, you get up tomorrow, you just a carry on like say the things never happen. You just sit down and talk about the stuff. And I think that was one of the weak points in our relationship. And I wanted to talk about stuff, but every time I try to talk about things, it's like it's an argument. It's like I'm being annoying, and sometimes it angers me because of the fact that we're not communicating, and it's so much building up that has been unresolved, that makes me angry, because I'm like, why are you like this? Why are you not making an effort to connect with me in the relationship? Why be in a relationship if you're choosing to be mean towards me? Why do this? Like, I have no time to waste. If I'm gonna be with you, I'm gonna be with you. Getting a child was something that I was always, you know, attacked about, because he wanted a baby, but it's something that I was waiting for, because I wanted to see that he was ready for a child, because he wasn't so much, you know, loving towards me. So I was like, why do you think that you're deserving to have a baby? You know, so I wasn't ready to give him that yet, because I wanted to ensure that he was ready, or he's deserving of it. Because me having a child, and me I go have the baby, and me I go through the pregnancy, and me I go down to the hospital, and then me I go have the baby. You know, so I was like, when he would bring it up, I'm like, this, you want a baby, but this is what I want. I don't just want to be a baby mama. I want to be a wife. I want to be in a relationship. I want to be loved. Are you ready to give that to me? Are you willing to give that to me? One at a time, Mr. Man saying not married to me unless me have baby for him, because post him get married to me and then we can't get pregnant. I'm like, what? Are you gonna leave me if I can't get pregnant? I already have a child. So if anybody that now work, I can't now work, or you now work, because me already have a child, you know? And for me, going into the relationship, I always knew I wanted to marry. I always knew I wanted to have a relationship. I want to settle down. And that's what I said I wanted. But no, he was just clear on the fact that no, this is not what I want. And I don't know, I became so desperate wanting the relationship that I pushed everything that I wanted out the window and just ease in to start giving him what he wants. Not communicating, not spending time, being sad all the time, sitting in separate couch, like if me over this so you're over here, so you upon your phone, me upon my phone. It's like me just start fitting and blend myself in the way oh he wants to live, which is not like how I want to live. Like we in the house and we not talk to each other. It's not like we're mad at each other, but we just, there's no, you're the over there, so me the over here. So when it's dinner time, we're gonna eat and we're gonna sit down on table. But you the on your phone, me the on my phone. Let me tell you, it was the loneliest relationship I've ever been in my entire freaking life. The loneliest. And I sat there and I cried and I thank God for Robsy, because of her I didn't lose my mind. I cried night, I cried day. I said, God, this cannot be real life. I can't, this me I live in. And every time I try to talk about it, it's like I'm annoying. It's like me are the problem. Me, I said, there's no way you're supposed to be in a relationship with a man and you have to beg them to spend time with you. You have to beg them to see you. Working and coming home every night. That don't mean say I have interest in me. Yeah, they have to come. Sometimes I have to just burst out. Mommy, you want a different boyfriend? Me never like them something there. Should I watch certain things on the YouTube? And she said, Mommy, you and your boyfriend. I saw you and your boyfriend must go out and date. I saw you and your boyfriend must hold on, Mommy. Every time she said them something that it pained me out, because she telling me what me and my man need to do is clearly an indication to me that she's not seeing us doing these things. My child is supposed to see me and my man and my husband a kiss. We're not kiss and suck out tongue and go on the extra way, but them supposed to see we in a love. Them supposed to see we do the things in certain way and I live and I laugh. So me they just ready for life. Ready for left, me start check out. This is way before even baby come in play. And me say, alright, you know what, God, I'm gonna give it one last chance and bring forth that baby here. And even during the time when me say, alright, I'm gonna carry that baby, I'm gonna have that baby here, me ball live in tears. I tell them I'm go through it. I go through it. I say, I never see somebody way just don't care about your feelings blatantly and them not give a shit about telling you or showing you, so then don't give a fuck about you. You get what I say? And when me in the hospital, I say, I pray to God, I say, God, give me the strength and the courage to walk away. Give me the strength and the courage to walk away, because this must be another freaking sign. And I tell you, I go back and I go back in and I sit down and we talk and we go through and hear me again, sit down and I give another chance. Another chance. And 1 year it take, 1 year we did it and we are keep and I try to get back pregnant again, and it couldn't happen. I said, God, are you this attack to me again, you know? Are you this attack to me again, you know, God? Because I don't know why me come back here, so again I try to get pregnant again. So yeah, the phone keep chipping out because my battery, my storage is going crazy. So let's hurry up and finish. So as I say, you know what, I'm gonna give it a chance again. I'm gonna try. And something at mama said, no, God, me cannot do this, me cannot do this, because this is clear indication that this now gonna stop. You know, so me say, all right, let me try. Me pray. I tell you, me pray. And I say, let me try. You know, I say, let me try. I say, God, I go through with this. I just want you to just dead it by my side. Just dead it with me, God. Just dead it with me. I say, I'm willing to go through with this, because I'm willing to try to make it work. And I say, God, if it don't work, even though there's a child involved, I am leaving, because I have nothing else to give. And we did what we had to do, and I found out I was pregnant, and you know, started going through it. And let me tell you, lonely. I've never been so lonely in my freaking life. I spent my 9 months going through the most depression I have ever been in my life. And TikTok is what I use to navigate and get through on a daily basis. You know, the emotions that you have to deal with during pregnancy, the changes that you have to deal with your body and all of that. It was really hard for me, but I'm so grateful for Robsy, and I'm so grateful for God to not give me a very difficult pregnancy. Imagine going through your pregnancy for 9 months without being hugged by the person that got you impregnated, to the point where, you know, you both are just living in a house like a roommate. Like there's nothing, there's no connection, and you would try to talk about it and ask, is this okay? We are already living like we're 90. Like, why? You know? And I was like, you know what, I can't wait to have my baby and just be out of here, because there is no way I'm going to continue like this. And I just shut down completely during my pregnancy. I shut down, I tapped out. Alright, let's quickly wrap up this video before the people them torture me. Alright, so as I say, yeah, me tap out of the relationship. I went through, have my baby 6 months. He been doing stuff, you know, helping out with the baby. We have office stress. We say, alright, me alone, dealing with the baby. Nighttime, you know, him take over and stuff. See what me I tell you? They put them and stress me. Yes, and I say, you know, you know, we have to give to Caesar what is due to Caesar. You know, you take care of your child and, you know, that help out and so. But something happened further down in December, like the 28th of December, where I was like, no, this cannot be, and we cannot continue like this. Like, if we didn't even sit and talk about the situation, I would be like, you know, things would be different. I would still be there, but we never spoke about it. And that has always been something in the relationship. Like, we never sit and talk about things. If you're in a relationship and you have a problem with your partner and have disagreement, which is going to happen, like, there's no perfect relationship out there. Relationships are going to have problems. Talk about it, admit when you're wrong, apologize. Don't be afraid to apologize to your partner. Don't be afraid to sit down and talk about things. Don't go to your bed with things on your mind and things in your heart. That's not going to be good for your relationship. Trust and believe me, it's not going to end well. So when that happened, you know what I said, 2024 is coming and I cannot continue like this. I have to move on. It's time for me to move on. I need to be happy. My kids need to see me be happy, and I have goals that I really want to achieve, and this has not been working out. Like, plans were being made, you know, I was driving the car, I upgraded my license, I was driving his car. You know, I was going out and getting 1 and 2 work here and there. You know, plans, preparation was being made for me to be a part of the business. But when I think about it, I was like, is this really worth it to sit down and sacrifice my happiness just because? Sacrifice my heart's desire just because? Like, no, I'm not a materialistic girl, and I would never ever choose materialistic things over my genuine happiness. It was never going to happen. That is not me. So I moved, and that's how I ended up in Mandeville. Like, it was never a plan for me to be in Mandeville, but it was just the fact that my sister is the only one available to assist me, to accommodate me and my kids at the moment. So this is where we are. It hurts my heart to know that I'm here, because Robsy was doing so well in school. She was a peer counselor, she was on honor roll, and I didn't want to take her out of school because she was doing so well, and I'm so proud of her. But I said, I pray to God, and I said, God, you know my heart desire. This is never ever something that I really wanted. There was no plan else. I would put Robin in a school for September, you know what I mean? So, you know, but, you know, we're there and life happens and things happen, and I'm so happy for the journey that I'm on. And I put this out there just to show you guys that, you know, sometimes we're in some state and we feel like say people comfortable and people happy. You're really and truly not happy, you know. No, not all that glitter is gold. Is gold. A gold or gold, whichever one. But yeah, I'm out here and, you know, taking on this life, this new journey, leap of faith, doing this thing, single mother life. It's not easy, but it will be worth it, and it's worth it, because at the end of the day, I come to bed happy, I come to bed comfortable, I come to bed a ball, or wake up in the night a ball, because I'm lonely, and man, you know, man pay me no mind, or, you know, them way they, me not doing that anymore, so I'm good. That's that. And, you know, me just there, me I do my thing, and that's what I said to my sister when me tell her, I say, me just need her to put me up for a month or 2. Me say, girl, you know, say me I no girl will sit down and love depend on people, so just give me a month or 2 to get my life together, and trust me. I have a struggling days, but nothing in life no come good without you having struggles, you know. So that's it. I'm not going any further with this video because I don't have no storage and I have my kids that needs my attention. So thank you all for watching.